Morning, we've got an update on Wan Bissaka. Manchester United possibly being too late with their decision making over UGARTE and losing out on another midfield target altogether. Pressure cooker situation right now for Ten Hag and his recruitment team on which way to go and which way to commit to. We've got an update just in the last 30 seconds from Fabrizio Romano regarding Ligt and Mazraoui as well. Getting all of your comments, all of your live chat in. Get commenting below as well, everybody. Make sure you get your points across and your thoughts with what's happening with Manchester United right now. I'm Adam, this is Forever United TV. Please give the video a like. Free content for you guys, got you up to date with all Manchester United news daily, 3 times a day. Give the video a like. Give me 600 likes on the video, guys, please. Thank you. And make sure that you are tuned in by subscribing. Get that bell notification click so you are up to date with everything going on with Manchester United. I cover it all for you. Going straight in, I'm going to talk about what has just dropped from Fabrizio Romano. It's pretty much a general sort of update, but we like to cover all of the major players in the agent side of things and reporters and everything across Europe. So Romano is top of that list, and he has come out in the last minute or so with an update on Manchester United that all parties regarding the 2 players are fully confident that they will be leaving Bayern Munich for Manchester United. Manchester United are prepared to return in talks with Bayern Munich for Matthias de Ligt and Mr Mazraoui. He said this last night. He has just retweeted it. What was said and quoted from last night was from his podcast himself on YouTube. He has now retweeted it himself, so that's a definite agreement in place on the contracts till 2029. Both players have agreed them. Player camp confident as the players are only wanting to move to Manchester United. So both players fully agreed with United on the personal terms. Like we said, Romano has just rubber stamped it, saying that United will go in again this week, hopefully today, hopefully very soon, with an improved offer to Bayern Munich for both players as a package deal. All of that conversation we had this morning, but there's just a little update from Fabrizio Romano saying that is definitely going on right now. Everybody is confident that this deal will happen. Manager wants both players, worked with both players before. Agent has agreed Manchester United side of things. The players are happy with the wage packages, the contracts. The only thing left, like we know, is that agreement between United and Bayern. As soon as that is agreed, bang, them 2 will move very, very quickly. And like Romano said earlier on, we are expecting both of them deals to be done by the end of this week. On to Wan Bissaka and what is happening there with Manchester United. The Daily Mail have been reporting this morning. A few other people have jumped onto this story as well about Manchester United setting the price for Wan Bissaka at 18 million. Good. He's worth it. He's worth 20 million at least. And then people who were talking before on the chat saying if Kuhlman's worth this, if this player's worth this, if they're willing to bid 30 million euros for Fulkrug, how come West Ham are only bidding so much for Wan Bissaka and trying to take advantage of Manchester United? Like I said earlier on, they're taking advantage of Manchester United because Wan Bissaka's got 1 year left of his deal and Manchester United are in an awkward position. Like, Ineos have only been in this summer. They couldn't do anything about agreeing Wan Bissaka last summer and giving him a new deal. So they're only in now. So they're having to deal with this mess and get the best that they can. If we get 18 million, you guys let me know in the chat, is that a fair deal? I think United have done well because that more than covers Mazraoui. And I think pretty much ends all speculation about De Ligt and Mazraoui coming to Manchester United. I think there's a little bit extra on top there for United. If it's 60 million... apparently, which is the big report right now for both of these players to come into Manchester United. Even with what we've got and what we've bid already, United are only willing to pay, 42 million for Matthias de Ligt. The fee was around about 15 million reported for Mazraoui, so where 60 million comes from, they probably added a little bit onto Matthias de Ligt. I think with 18 million for Wan Bissaka, if we get this deal done, I think Wan Bissaka is the key to De Ligt and Mazraoui now both being finished at United. So now that all the players are back, Manchester United fully on pushing on to getting Wan Bissaka out the door. I think this deal now is absolutely crucial to Manchester United's business for this week especially. If we can get this finished and finalised with West Ham over the line, then that's it. De Ligt and Mazraoui will follow, I think, very, very quickly because Man United and Bayern Munich, as we've heard from Romano and other sources, Ornstein as well, Plettenberg from Sky, saying that United and Bayern are very, very close between the bids anyway. It's minuscule in terms of where they're actually at in terms of what United are offering and what Bayern Munich want. So that's expected to get sorted very, very soon. And I think if United do get the 18 million, and reports are saying the 18 million is coming for Inter Milan and West Ham. So it's not a definite that he's going to West Ham. Inter Milan, I think, like I said it yesterday, I think United are hanging around right now with Wan Bissaka and say, all right, yeah, fair enough, let's get back. Let's see what Inter have got on the table. What are they going to go? What are they going to go to? If they're willing to go to 18 million, then that basically, with Wan Bissaka being reportedly open to going to Italy, that's done. That's Wan Bissaka out of the country. It's probably a better deal for Manchester United because they're not going to be coming up against a former player again because he is a good defender as well. So I know that's neither here nor there in terms of the important side of transfers and what clubs look at, but still, I think Wan Bissaka going to Italy for 18 million definitely suits Manchester United better. They're not improving anyone around them as such. And that, like I said, 18 I think is a fair price right now. With him into his last year of his current deal, 18 million. See you later. 5 years at Manchester United. You paid 50 million for him. He's in that last year of a contract. You get 18 million back. Thank you, Wan Bissaka. Manchester United, good bit of business. Move on. Deal done. And in football finance terms and how they balance it out, that is a decent deal. You're getting what back there, like over a third, is it, of his transfer fee that we paid in 2019? That's how it's balanced out in the football finance world. How much of the contract has he done? What's he offered United? He's won 2 trophies with Manchester United. He's got us in the Champions League a couple of times, United. So, worth his weight in gold over the time of his contract. He was never on massive, massive wages either, so not cost the club too much money. And United get a nice chunk out of it and bring in someone who they see is better. Very good deal if we can get it done. And this, like I said, is holding absolutely everything up, I feel, with Ligt and Mazraoui. I think it's the extra money United know they've got, but don't want to spend, if you get what a point. They'll get to a point where United just go, we're going to have to just spend this. They don't want to, and they're confident that they don't have to with what's been said. United would have probably walked away from the deal if they didn't feel that something could be negotiated in with Bayern Munich to get both of these players through. 18 million for Wan Bissaka definitely helps that. I do believe that Scott McTominay going to Fulham for 25 plus will completely convince Manchester United moving forward. With Ligt and Mazraoui, and then we're into the realms of the midfield negotiations then and what we're doing next. I want to come to you guys into the chat. Obviously in the lunchtime show we like to involve you guys, but to do so you need to give me a like as well. It's free. I'm not asking much, guys. We're nearly at 600 in the room already, so please do give the video a like. What salary did Rabiot want, says Cornish Maid? Apparently the reports yesterday were over 200k, so see you later to him. Simon says Wan Bissaka last ditch sliding tackle is his main attribute. He's a player for a low block team, can't cross a ball, make assists or defend at the near post. Needs to go like so many other hangers on. Yeah, he is one of them players, I think, that has been there long enough. Like we say, he's seen out his contract pretty much into the last year of it now. Thank you, Aaron. Time to let go. And if we get that fee for him, that is actually good business for Manchester United. Well done in getting what we've managed to get for him, Ineos, because he should be worth more. But with only 1 year left, we'll take what we can. And if it is 18 and it gets us another player in and probably gives us that little bit more comfort zone to get the other one in Matthias de Ligt as well, then get it done. Thank you. Move on. Simple as. Why is United playing a hardball for players? Very few clubs want to buy these players. Hardly have any clubs coming for them. To be honest, mate, everyone's playing hardball. If you listen to the show this morning, go check it out after this one. We're talking about how difficult the situation is for every single club with financial fair play right now. Everyone's trying to get that, even like extra 1-2 million out of the deal goes a long way. In terms of balancing books with PSR. This is massive for Manchester United in getting Wan Bissaka out the door, because then you look at, this could be the biggest summer in terms of money recouped from selling players for Manchester United. It could, because you've got obviously 27 million for Mason Greenwood. You'll have Donny van de Beek, 500,000. I know it doesn't mean much, but Donny van de Beek, 500,000. You've also got 500,000 for Shoretire. You've got the money from Cambuala, which is upwards to 10 million. So you're talking there, 37, nearly 38 million there. If you get Wan Bissaka gone for that 18 million, and you're talking, what, 37 million, 38 million, looking at 48. You're over 50 million there then, like 56 million. If you sell Wan Bissaka, you're up, say if you sell Scott McTominay for the right price, you're up to 80 million quid for them players there. And none of them players or anyone, I don't think, in the United fan base would be absolutely shouting out to keep and like really upset that they're leaving the football club. So you look at it, it's good business for Manchester United, I think. And if we do get that 80 million together, and then you just don't know, you've got Pellistri, Lindelof and Hannibal to add to that, you could be bringing in 100 million this summer for players that really are not part of the plan going forward or have contributed that much over the last year, apart from Wan Bissaka and McTominay. But again, they are not first-team players. We know this. So, good business if you're bringing in players that are going to contribute. Argument was yesterday, are Ligt and Mazraoui actually first-team players when everyone's fit? Well, no, they're not. So, slap in the face for Adam and a big contradiction. I know, yes, but I feel like Ten Hag, when he talks about squad depth, he feels like if a player comes out, he doesn't have to change his plan if he's got this type of player in position, rather. So, for instance, you got Dalot, and Dalot has to cover at left back for some reason because someone's injured. Then Mazraoui steps in at right back. Don't forget, Mazraoui is both-footed. He can play left and he can play right, just like Dalot. So, I think that's what Ten Hag is looking at. He doesn't necessarily need to go out and buy a left back. You got two right backs who can both play as comfortable on the left. You've got Shaw fit. You've got Malacia coming back in maybe October, November time, adding to the squad. And you've got Harry Amasu, Ten Hag, who I'm going to start talking about in a minute because there's been some quotes coming out from him again, is saying he's going to be part of Manchester United's matchday squad this season, the 17-year-old. So, full-back positions are sorted once this deal goes through with Wan Bissaka. Put to bed. Simple. It will also get Ligt over the line, which puts centre-back to bed. Then we know what we need. And you look at it and go, really, realistically then, everything should be just focused on midfield from now until the end of the window. And that's what I think Manchester United are trying to get to. Ten Hag is desperate to get these two players in so he can fully concentrate on his midfield situation. Everything and all of the reports I'm reading, all of the articles, everything coming out from The Athletic on Ten Hag and what he wants, he needs another holding midfielder. He's desperately in need of a defensive midfielder. He's not convinced with what he's got and he wants that in. Sad that we look at unwanted players going to West Ham and it being classed as improving a rival. West Ham, a rival, it was last season, wasn't it, where we finished, mate? It is sad, Anthony. It's like table never lies, people tell me. So I go around who's actually around us and they were competing with us last season. So, yeah. In terms of what, just to clarify, in terms of Ligt and what I said, is he a first-team player? When Yorrell's fit, I don't think he is. He is first-team, but if everyone's fit, I think Yorrell starts ahead of him. So it's good backup, isn't it? It's great backup. And say, for instance, we need to rest Martinez. You want to bring in someone else. You feel more confident. I think Ten Hag feels more confident when he's bringing in someone like Ligt rather than a Lindelof or someone like that. That's how he's looking at it, I feel. He's building a strong foundation of players within the squad, and depth is very important. Strength in depth is a bonus, and that's what I think we're trying to get to. But they do literally cover that whole back four, at least for a few seasons, is sorted. And we don't have to worry about every single transfer window. We're stressing about defenders, fullback, everything like this. It takes the pressure off. And you know what? Next season, when we need that first-class midfielder, an 8 or someone like that, or a goal scorer, an out-and-out goal scorer, the whole budget can go to that. That's what I mean by it, and that's why it's important. Snapdragon interested in naming rights for the new stadium just came through. Of course they are. Why wouldn't you be? That is going to be the most lucrative deal ever for a sports stadium. Guarantee it. It's all going that way down the new stadium road. We know it's going to happen, and how we finance it, naming rights are definitely going to be up there. Sancho is not the man and never will be. A guy's got zero passion or hunger, awful mentality and attitude, and will cause disharmony when he's sitting on the bench again. He will be sat on the bench again. You're right about that. Even if Euro is ahead, he's still a first-team player. Yes, Kaz, I know he's a first-team player, but when everyone's... saying that, though, like, when everyone's fit, that will be a nice thing, won't it? To have every single centre-back fit at one point. So, kind of works in well that Ligt is a first-team player. But what you will have, I think the important thing to look at it is, there'll be no excuse for Ten Hag to not rotate. You've got ample squad depth there, and you can rest players when needed. And that, I think, is where we are heading. That's the road that Manchester United are going down. He feels confident in, let's just say, his first free choice and first free choice, second choice fullbacks right now when he needs to rest people. I think they'll all get the message. You're bringing in two players that know Ten Hag inside and out and fit right into the system. That's what he wants. That's what we're pretty much getting down to. Matt Lambridge in the chat says, should we spend that kind of money on backup? That's the real question right now as we are skint. This is what I've said all along. But when you look at the squad and positions that we need, we've bought a centre-back in Euro. He's just got injured. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. We need a midfielder. Should this money be spent on a midfielder is probably the question that we're asking. I think United must have something financed in where we have got enough to buy UGARTE at least. So, yeah. I'm just reading through what's actually been said. Manchester United's new first of shirt sponsor keen on link, but adamant Old Trafford is Old Trafford. So, Snapdragon Stadium. It's hard for me to read that. That's really poor sort of print out on it. But yeah, the gist of it is just to headline that one and where the new stadium and what Snapdragon have said, because that news is just out, is that they know and understand. They're basically reading the room and they don't want to change Old Trafford. If a new stadium came about, you take advantage of that. Look, I'm not bothered what the new stadium's called as long as it's not ridiculous and embarrassing. You can't call a new stadium Old Trafford, so don't even think about it. This is why I was all for the new stadium. I was just thinking, new stadium, do what you want. We know it's going to cost a fortune. Naming rights come with every new stadium these days. It's just part and parcel. Old Trafford, I wouldn't want another stadium with Old Trafford's name on it. So it works best just leaving Old Trafford alone, or maybe downsizing it, using it like we said for academy matches and women's games. Give them a home, a proper Manchester United home like they should have, and then call a new stadium whatever you want, as long as it's not some ridiculous, crazy name. But yeah, the new Snapdragon, New Trafford, or something like that. I think that's just something that we're all going to have to accept, I think. But if it goes a long way to funding the actual build, then there's nothing that anyone can really argue with. I think Ineos will go down that road. Kevin says, it's competition for places. No player's spot should be set in stone. No, it shouldn't. Definitely not on Manchester United. We've had this debate before. My opinion hasn't changed, and neither has yours. No idea why you commented. Oh, that's Darryl talking to Cornish. Looks like we've got little debates going on in the chat again, guys. I'm trying to find out what it's all about. Maybe I've triggered something. Unfortunately, Sancho is the top two players I've wanted to get rid of at United in United's history. Players not good enough are just that. Players that act like prima donnas have no place at Manchester United. Director of Football says, in my honest opinion, United's new regime are not 100% convinced on Erik Ten Hag's picks. He needs to use his head, not heart, to pick players. I mean, if you look at the signings like Euro, Xerxes, if Ten Hag does go down the line, the next manager, I don't think we'll have an issue in using them players. Ligt, Mazraoui, as long as they're not on big wages, I think you can use them. Like, these are players that any manager should be able to get the best out of, not just Ten Hag. So you're looking at it and you're like, Ten Hag's picking players he's used before again. We've got another 3 Dutch players coming in and 1 French one. Mazraoui is half Dutch, by the way. He is Moroccan, obviously, but heritage in there. The links, There's only one player we've brought in this summer that hasn't got a link to the Eredivisie or Ten Hag. So again, people will pick up on that. People will use that as fuel to say, again, why are we not recruiting elsewhere? How much say does Ten Hag have in these transfers? You would use that and say, yeah, he has a lot. Because this is just going exactly the same way. Except Ineos are not paying over the top for these players, which is a bit of a difference, yes. But still, no matter what we pay for him, it still comes down to the quality of the player. And is the player actually good enough for Manchester United? And that debate should be top. That should be top of anything. And never mind the fee, no matter what the player wants wage-wise, it should be, is the player good enough first of all? Then you negotiate. Mazraoui upgrade on Bissaka? Yeah. Ligt upgrade on Lindelof? Yeah. And Euro replacement for Varane? Perfect. And Xerxes upgrade on Martial? No brainer. He actually walks out on the pitch. So straight away you want an upgrade there. It was funny, I was in the car with Kaz the other day and it's like, why are people on the radio actually talking about Martial like he was a player? Because we're talking about Xerxes actually replacing Martial and they haven't got that backup anymore of Martial. And she's like, why are they saying that? And I think it was just sarcasm because everybody knows what a waste of time Anthony Martial actually was. And even people from other clubs or pundits or people who don't know Manchester United inside out even know what Martial was. So United are definitely in a better position in the forward line going into the season. And once Euro is fit, we're sorted, get Ligt and Mazraoui in, I think we are in a stronger position there. It all comes down, which is what I want to move on to next, to that midfield. And that debate is going to rumble on and on and on. Because Manchester United have obviously got Amrabat on the hook. He wants to come to United. He's waiting for United. But Fenerbahce are putting pressure on Fiorentina. We have literally got a Euro reversal situation going on right now. Whereas Amrabat wants to come to United like Euro wanted to go to Madrid. You've got a club there that are near enough. They're about 800,000 away from the asking price, the actual full asking price from Fiorentina. Apparently, they want 12.8. A Turkish club have come in, Fenerbahce, with a bid of 12 million euros now. Now, that is pounds, 12.8 million pounds, not euros. So they're a little bit out, but you're starting to get closer. According to a report by Turkish publication, Fanatik, I don't know how you would say that in Turkey, if it's any different to English, but hey, as cited by Football Italia, Fenerbahce have made an improved offer for Fiorentina midfielder Sofyan Amrabat. Amrabat spent last season on loan at Manchester United, linked with the Old Trafford club throughout this summer, again, as a return. The Reds had an option to re-sign him on a permanent basis and are still on the hunt for fresh blood in midfield. However, it is reported that Fenerbahce have tabled a fresh bid for the defensive midfielder, but it is still slightly below the price Fiorentina are looking for. It is reported the new offer is about 12 million. This is what I mean by United needing to move forward very, very quick, or as quickly as they can, in making a decision on Manuel Ugarte. The update on Ugarte, by the way, I'll just get into that quickly now. Cited by ESPN regarding what Romano has said, United have stepped up their pursuit of Paris Saint-Germain midfielder Manuel Ugarte, according to Italian journalist Romano. United remain keen to strengthen their midfield. Ten Hag is desperate to add a defensive midfielder specialist to his ranks, and the Uruguayan international fits the bill. It is reported that negotiations between United and PSG are ongoing. The report adds the proposal terms between United and Ugarte have been agreed. Yet everything that we know in terms of personals, the bit that we want to know and we're more interested in is about a fee being agreed with PSG, which we are still nowhere near yet. So guys, let's talk about the midfield situation. With everything the way it is, tight finances regarding Mazraoui, Ligt, we know, like we said at the top of this show, United have now set a higher price for Wan Bissaka at 18 million. I think it's a fair price from where the player's at in his career and age, contract length left and things like that. I think that's important. But you also have to look at how much we put, like we said yesterday, into the defensive side compared to midfield in terms of what's more important. More importantly, Manchester United, having watched Casemiro over the last few games, and loads of people, unfairly, because he just wants to play football, slaughtering Casemiro, saying he has to go. Look, I get it. I do. I do. I think the criticism is over the top, but I understand it looks like he's at the end of his career. And he is struggling right now. He's struggling in midfield in pre-season. He's come back fitter, he's come back stronger, he's come back with a point to prove. But we cannot rely on Casemiro as an out-and-out playing every single game in midfield in that holding role. I don't think we're going to be able to see out the season with that. How far down the line do we wait? Because Romano has said United will wait till the end of the transfer window, i.e. the last few days of the window, to get UGARTE over the line. Will Amrabat wait is the question. We know that our other midfield options are now getting a little bit thin on the ground. Yes, Rabiot is a slightly different midfielder. It's now come out that he wants ridiculous wages. So United are moving away from that one. God help us. We know that Scott McTominay is another bid coming in for him. So United are realistically right now, if Fulham meet Manchester United's asking price, what are United doing? Because UGARTE seems like he's still well off the mark in terms of this agreement. Like, are United going to bring in two midfielders? Have they told Amrabat he's definitely coming? Honestly, I would rather have a different type of midfielder and a holding midfielder to come in. If Casemiro isn't going, I'd rather have someone more attacking to come in and replace Scott McTominay and still get UGARTE or Amrabat. Do you know what I mean? I don't think we should be getting UGARTE and Amrabat. I think that would be ridiculous because they're both the same player. And you've got Casemiro there. We can't move Casemiro into 8 because his legs, I don't think, will carry him through. So, realistically, if United want to wait till the end of the window for UGARTE, is he the only midfielder coming in? Because we would be weaker than we was last season, realistically. Unless Mason Mount stays fit for the whole season. Touch what he does, but you know what I mean. He's no guarantee, is there? Definitely not. So, I'm concerned a little bit with the midfield more than the defence right now. I think defensively, I'm confident we'll get what we need. Midfield, I'm not so confident. Unless United are 100% happy with where they're at with UGARTE and know that they can get him this window. Because if we don't get UGARTE, then United are in trouble. And that's if we don't get Amrabat as well. If he just says, I'm not waiting any longer, I need to go. Because let's not forget, like, Amrabat's going to be playing games by the time that this window shuts. So is UGARTE. Can United afford to wait that long? You know what I'm talking about right now. We've seen it before with United. UGARTE starts the season with PSG. Bang. Injured. Nightmare. Is it not... I say, is it not worth just trying to get this deal done early? It's easier said than done. I understand that. But you have to look at that and go, you're running a risky game going to the end of the window for Manuel UGARTE. Casemiro. Ericsson, reportedly, we're looking to sell him on as well. So there's another 8/10 that could be out the door alongside Scott McTominay. If the bids come in, United will sell these players. Who the hell are we lining up for midfield? It cannot just be UGARTE and Amrabat. There has to be another midfielder in the offing that United are looking at. Look, I'm going to run through some things that Ten Hag has been saying as well regarding Manchester United's younger players. And he said about Tom Collier, there is a decision to be made on Tom Collier. This is from The Athletic. Ten Hag rates the midfielder, but will weigh up whether to organise a loan or keep him in-house to develop. I use him in the squad this season. A lot of people have been impressed with him. I've been impressed with him. Ten Hag is also going to use this week to assess the players that have come back from international duty late, i.e. Shaw, Mainu, Bruno, Dalot, Martinez, Garnacho, Xerxes, all of them players, whether or not they are going to be available for the Community Shield. I think there was some news going about last night that the other players are getting a couple of days break who were on the tour. Everyone's going to be back in the squad by Wednesday, Thursday, and then he's going to pick and decide on his team for the Community Shield. But regarding Collier, I like him being in the squad. I don't want to thrust him right in there and solely rely on him as the option for midfield. We do need to buy. Anthony McKay has joined the members club. Thank you, Anthony. Legend, mate. Matt Lambridge, Adam, there are so many CDMs out there. UGARTE is not the best in the world. Mate, I know, but the reality is 3 weeks left of the window. We're not hearing anything else, mate. We're not hearing anything else at all. And United are still talking to UGARTE. We know this for certain. How long do we chase him? You have to be convinced that UGARTE is coming if you're going to wait till the end of the window. There's no point. Otherwise, you're leaving yourself right open for a disaster there. And then United go into panic mode. And it's the last week of the window. Then we start bringing out the second and third choice options. And we're back to where we was again. Get Wan Bissaka sold. Get Scott McTominay sold this week so Manchester United can properly move forward with who they need. It's as simple as that. Adam, midfield. I do think we will give Collier game time if no other midfielder is brought through. It's a risk in it though, mate. I know what you're saying, and probably is reality. Adam, the frustration is crazy. I think Ten Hag is doomed to fail due to Ineos, and they will then hire Rude. It's not down to Ineos for Ten Hag failing, mate, to be honest. They're giving him everything they possibly can. I think Ineos have done a great job so far still. I still stand by that. Ten Hag has got more than enough to get United into the top four. But I just don't think he's going to be able to do it with that midfield the way it is at the moment. Ineos, yes, we'll judge them at the end of this window a bit more and how they've managed to get deals done. I still, like I said, I'll stand by it. We need to judge their signings in another 3 years' time before saying that they are absolutely useless or even the same as what the Glazers are. Some people have said on this show. I look at it and I'll go, midfield, one midfielder in that Ten Hag wants. If it is UGARTE, there's no excuse not to make top four. If we don't get a midfielder, I'm very concerned because we'd have lost two midfielders and brought none in. It's not going to happen. United will buy a midfielder. The more you look at it, the more you say United will get another midfielder in. So, yeah, where I'm talking like I would be concerned and waiting till the end of the window is a bit of a risk. United will be bringing another midfielder. It's 100% certain. Otherwise, like people are saying, you might as well say that we've got no chance because that midfield is nowhere near good enough to cope with what's coming this season. Adam Casemiro is well past it. We need better recruitment. It started, Dylan. It started. And look, you can only work with what you've got right now. We haven't got a lot of money. We've done well with that money, I think. In terms of the players leaving, I think we will make enough money to bring in at least 3 or 4 more signings. The quality of them signings, well, Ligt, Mazraoui, UGARTE or Amrabat, are they champions? Are they a champion winning side? Or a winning the title sort of quality player? There's an argument. No, definitely not. But are they better than what we've got right now? Yes. Every single one of them, I feel. And that's what we have to look at. The stages to Manchester United's development under Ineos and where they need to get to. We're not going to go out straight away after one window and try and win the league. Top 4 for a couple of seasons. 3rd year, I think then see where we're at and then start judging Ineos. I think that's the plan. Prashant, playing devil's advocate. No doubt Kobe is one of the generational talents, but how confident are you in him playing a number 8 and his chance creation abilities? Look, I have no real concern with Kobe Mainoo. I'll judge what happens in the season, second season syndrome and all of that, but from what we've seen, how he played for England, the influence he had on Southgate in actually changing that team and putting him in there, what he did last season for United, full confidence that he's going to be the man that we all see the potential of him being. And then from that, hopefully he turns into a world-class player because he has got the capabilities. Adam says, will we still name the new stadium after Ten Hag after he gets canned in November? We're not going to name it after Ten Hag. I've seen Ligt. The Dutch Maguire is exactly how I described him before United were linked. Graham doesn't like Ligt, by the way. I like Dominic Solanke, 65 million release clause. We can't rely on Højlund anymore. Otherwise, we might as well throw in the towel. Henry, 65 million for Solanke. Forget that, mate. Not a chance in hell. Good player, massively improved. £30 million player max. That's it. 65 million, he's staying at Bournemouth. If United don't buy the Ligt, then who will? Well, that's a good question, mate. It is a good question, Jonathan. But like Romano said, he's turned down 2 or 3 deals already. So there are plenty in there. The only reason you're not hearing about him is because he's made it very clear that Manchester United is where he wants to go. And he's confident, like what Pimenta has said, his agent, like what Romano mentioned then. Like everybody's confident that Ligt is coming to United and he wants to come to United. So the reason we don't hear about anyone else is because he has turned deals down, apparently. Amas also deserves a chance. If we are short on strikers, then he's ready for an opportunity. Amas is a fullback, mate. Do you mean Wheatley? Someone else like that? Amas is a left back, mate. Kenneth says, too much weight is being put on Cobby's shoulders for someone so young. He's adapted to it well, hasn't he, though? Let's be honest. Guys, keep liking the video. Over 850 in the room with us. Let's get up to that 300 mark, everyone, please. Thank you for joining us on this midday show. Get your comments in, everyone. Make sure you've hit that subscribe button as well. When that news does break, and when we get that next, here we go. We've got you covered. We talk in depth about everything here on Forever United TV. One other update from Laurie Whitwell from The Athletic as well, guys. Manchester United's football leaders are now giving Erik ten Hag visible messages of support compared to the end of last season where relationships between them seem so fragile. It does seem like United are on the same wavelength in terms of the hierarchy, manager and coaching setups right now. If you compare where we was at the end of the season to where we are now, it does look like everyone's on there. Like, I think Simon Stone did a great tweet, who was out on the tour in the States, and he said, results not great for Manchester United, but actively looks like there is a more of a sort of togetherness about Manchester United on this tour, and it is visible from the outside as well. So, yeah, it does look like United are in a good place right now off the pitch. But again, like, it's easy to be all right and in a great place off the pitch when the season isn't being played. When results start coming in, if they're not good, then you'll see a change in the environment straight away. You will. Pressure will start to mount. Are United ready? Are we ready to go? Is the question. Literally what? Like just under 2 weeks away from, or less than 2 weeks away from the start of the season now. Community Shield in 5 days, and United kick off against Fulham on the 16th of August on the Friday Night Football. So we do need a good start. We do, and I'm seeing more tweets now, and people starting to worry more about the football rather than what's going on off the pitch, because people are talking about the first 5 games for United. How many points can we get? Can we get off to a good start? Let's not forget, this month as well, we've got the draw for the Europa League coming out as well towards the back end of the month. So that's going to be interesting. 8 games there in the new league format set up for that. Really interesting to see how Ten Hag uses his squad around that competition, because that is going to run and coincide with the League Cup as well. And he said United have to win a trophy every season. We want to win a trophy next season. We were talking about this the other day with Kaz, and yes, Liam, it is on the Tifo, the watch-along this weekend, Manchester United v Man City on Tifo. There is a link in the description below for that. Click on that. It'll be up in the chat as well, because one of my mods will put it up in a minute. And yeah, looking at it, them first few games, you've got to... I love the fact that football talk is coming back, is what I'm saying. I love the fact that we are talking football now and not just transfers, but still, the worry about the football is that it could be the same team again, near enough, that we had last season. And that's the concern for nearly all Manchester United fans right now. It's like, come on, get a move on, please, and get these players in so we can hit the ground running. A good start to the season will be such a breath of fresh air. And you know what? It helps everything move forward with Manchester United. It helps Ten Hag, obviously. It helps the players and the confidence. Ineos in their first proper season, their first full season in charge, getting off to a good start. How we handle the Europa League, squad rotation and all of that. I think Manchester United this season, and like I just said then, we were just talking about it the other day, me and Kaz, like, yeah, you want to win a trophy. A League Cup and an FA Cup ain't going to cut it if you don't get in the Champions League. United need to be in the Champions League. If we're going to win a trophy, go for the Europa League. That's your avenue in. Personally, expectations for the season for me right now, looking at the players, I did say, look, I won't judge it until that window's over and I know what the squad is. But if you were to say to me everything went well from this point, we got UGARTE, we got Ligt, we got Mazraoui, and now we got rid of Scott, Lindelof, Wan Bissaka. All them players are out. Maybe we even get rid of Sancho, I don't know. But just for most of that to happen, I'd expect Manchester United to be getting a trophy and getting top 4. And that's where Ten Hag should be aiming. Europa League and top 4, just to fully cement it, that's an excellent season. Top 4, League Cup, good enough. Good enough. Champions League, top 4, no trophy. Ten Hag still keeps his job. And then we're looking down the barrel of another new contract. That's where we're at. Like, if he gets Champions League football, Ten Hag cements his place at Manchester United. And the new contracts, not the one he's got now, the extension, a brand new contract will be given under Ineos's structure of how they want it to work. So yeah, that's where I think Manchester United's aiming at. Like, minimum is top 4. Ten Hag stays, and really, I think United should be looking at a trophy and top 4. I think we can definitely do it with that squad that we just mentioned there. Then, but yeah, guys, that is your midday update. All done. Thank you so much, absolute legends. Give the video a like. Let's get up to 300 likes. Appreciate it, guys. You've all been absolutely immense again. And yeah, I will see you all at 6:30 with the evening update. Unless something breaks in between, of course, I'll be all over it. But again, guys, great comments, great chat today. And I will catch up with you all later on this evening. Thank you, mods, members, everybody involved. Get your comments in below, guys, as well as liking the video and making sure you hit that subscribe button. That's important. Get subscribing, guys, to make sure you don't miss out on anything. I've got you covered. And that is us all finished. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you all later on. Have a great day.